Okay, it's your boy Black Jesus, or as my YouTube channel says, Black OG Jesus. Um, this is an article I was talking about. The hashtag MeToo movement is at a dangerous tipping point. I was talking about doing this in the previous video that I did, and let's see, let's see what they have to say. It has taken just 3.5 months for our national conversation about sexual harassment and sexual assault to go from revelation to backlash. Yeah. Uh, an article about an anonymous woman's date with comedian. Uh, I don't really know how to say his first name. I'm just gonna say Anzari. That's his last name, which ended with Grace feeling sexually pleasured to the point of tears, served as a reminder that it is not just the Harvey Weinsteins of the world who stand between America and healthy sexual culture. The piece also made clear that if we expand our reexamination of sexual ethics without preserving the distinction between criminal acts and merely unattractive or immoral behavior, the Me Too movement could easily founder on miscommunication in a criminally. Yeah, because nowadays, everyone, every man, if you have a dick, you're a rapist, and you should be thrown in jail and never be. If you're a man with a dick, you should be thrown in jail, and you should never have your own freedom, your own rights. You should be slaved, be enslaved to a female. It's basically how feminists think the world should run. That they should be in control and telling men what to do and how to act, and that that we should all be in underground cages and being milked of our sperm. Of course, the only time they would use us is if danger came, like if a war broke out. Uh, they'd let us out the cages and be like, "Hey, it's time to go fight. Do something for me." That's when I'd be like, "Bitch, you got me fucked up. I'm running. Good luck catching me." They don't call me Chocolate Thunder for nothing. I run fast as fuck. Now, I once outran my friends. Um, they were on their bikes. It was just really weird to me. Like it was a it was a good football field's distance. You know, I was surprised I could run this long because I wasn't really in shape back then. Back then I was a little bit more of a chubby guy. Maybe that's also why women are starting to find me more attractive now because I've lost some weight, uh, gained some confidence and such, and kind of going my own way, not giving them the attention. I mean, sometimes I can't help it. Like, if I see an ass so fat, I mean, damn, I have to look twice. Like, shit. Alright, let's get back into it. Sorry to get sidetracked, guys. The piece about Anzari, I really hope I'm saying that right, with it described an unhappy sexual push and pull between people who wanted very different things, struck a pair of concurrent nerves to some readers. The juxtaposition of the woman's discomfort over her encounter with Anzari's positioning of himself as a modern dating guru in his book, Modern Romance, which is also dead in the year 2018, by the way, was proof of how deep, or at least in American societies, I mean Western societies, um, and his positioning of himself as a modern dating guru in the book of modern romance was a proof of how deep our sexual problems run, and how we need to create norms that work for everyone. Characterizing Anzari's actions as sexual assault was an example of how hashtag MeToo could develop into dangerous overreach. Yeah, because there are so many fucking men that are just being locked in prison for no reason. No, I'm glad I don't go outside much. I'm glad, well, sometimes. I'm glad I don't really talk to people much. I'm kind of a lone wolf. I'm a loner. Shout out to all my lone wolves or loners out there. Um, if I'm not in between these four walls that you see, or that you can somewhat see, if I'm not in between these walls, I'm either A or B at work, which who isn't? Um, C, I'm at my aunt's. Um, that's really it. So either home with my parents, or work, or my aunts, or my only male friend I have, my weed man. um, yeah, so those are really the only four people. I mean, no, four places I go. Like four different places I go. Now then, this is why men really need to start the whole hashtag avoid all women. That's a thing I made up in my previous video, which I have no idea which I'm gonna call yet. But yeah, just letting you guys know. Anyhow, let's get back into the article before I completely get off topic. um, Both sets of readers are right. Americans desperately need to examine our sexual culture beyond in condemnation of criminally violent acts. Yes, they do. They need to badly. There, you want to know why our prisons are so overloaded? Because shit like this. Because men are being thrown in prison for no fucking reason, man. And then let's not forget the illegalization of marijuana. I mean, the legalization of marijuana. Um, men get men or women, um, or children maybe. They get thrown in prison or juvie for having a for walking around smoking a piece of plant that God made. But hey, I love how it's illegal. I love how it's illegal. But yet, cigarettes. It's perfectly fine and acceptable to smoke cigarettes, right? I fucking hate cigarettes with a passion. My parents, uh, my parents smoke cigarettes, and I've tried to get them to stop for the longest. Since I was a kid, really, like 7 or 8, I remember telling them, like, man, you should stop smoking cigarettes. They're bad for you, and weed too. Back then, that's when I thought weed was bad for you. Um, I just remember seeing my parents hit that shit and cough their lungs out, and I just assumed it would make them more sick. And plus, I had everyone in my family telling me, you better not smoke weed when you grow up, or I'm gonna beat that ass. So, yeah. And here I am now, smoking weed. Well, not now. I'm actually sober as hell. unfortunately. But let's get back into this um, video before I turn this into like a 50-minute video. um, anyhow, where was I? And the hashtag MeToo conversations can only expand in an effective way if it's conducted carefully and strategically. Being clear about what behavior is criminal, what behavior is legal but intolerable in the workplace, and what primitive, intimate behavior is worthy of condemnation, and helps focus where the work of movements, where movement has to take place. Now, if our society was full of, if our society was actually about equality, there's a few women I could that that I work with that I if the world, the Western feminized, bull-pilled, cucked countries were actually equal. They were actually equal, and they were actually all about equality. Um, honestly, I could I could take so many. I mean, not so many, because I don't. There are a few women. There are some women that I work with who have touched me. I if the world, if it was fucking equal, if the systems were actually equal, I could report those bitches for sexual assault. They touch me inappropriately, even though they didn't. Um, how one chick just poked me on the side of my stomach, and the other one just like touches my arms. I've been working out a lot lately, so I realize the arms are kind of getting pretty solid. Oh my goodness. So like, I wonder how if the world was like, if it was our society was actually equal, how many women would be in prison, and how many men could throw women in prison because of the whole hashtag Me Too madness. I wonder how many men could go after all those big female CEOs and say that they sexually harassed them by the female, by the lady wanting to talk to him, and wanting them to be really flirty and such. You guys get what I'm saying, right? I hope you do. I wonder how many women who could be thrown in prison for sexual harassment if the laws were actually equal, and men uh, would men would think like women and say like, "Ah, oh, this bitch touched me, so I should call the cops." And no, I just pictured myself trying to call the cops and telling them some woman sexually harassed me. I can just picture the funny looks I would get. Um, I probably wouldn't be taken seriously at all. My report would probably go into the ghost files or whatever. Uh, I'd be a laughing stock. Kind of laughing at myself, so yeah. Okay, so let's get back into it. I'm getting really sidetracked. Um, there's an obvious difference between alleged serial rapist and harasser, such as Weinstein, and someone who has consensual sex with a large number of women, but the distinction between the behavior that is the illegal and the actions that are legal isn't the only dividing line worth drawing here. There's also a contrast between someone who sleeps with a lot of people on terms that are clear and acceptable to everyone involved, and someone who conducts themselves in such a way that their partners end up feeling misled or disappointed about their about the nature of their encounters. That distinction is between conduct that is ethical and um, that which ranges from morally devious to outright unethical, but does not rise the level of criminal. No, honestly, so many women should be in prison right now. So many women getting away with murder. So many women getting away with raping kids. So many women. Um, there are so many women making up a bunch of lies just to get back at some guy. Um, it women are pretty pathetic. That's all I can really say. It's they're sad, they're pathetic. Men need to avoid them at all cost, at least these days, or in Western countries. Um, in non-feminized societies, I wonder what women are like. Um, I wonder if all women are like feminine women or submissive women. Like, like in the not in the Western societies. No, there there are very few of those. Small number of those. But I'm talking about in societies where men are still men. They don't take shit from women and all that other bullshit. Like, are there any feminine women in this? Like, are there any feminine or submissive women in your countries? Or are they just like all the same? I mean, I know they're all the same to some point in degree, but you know what I mean, right? Like, fuck, I can't even say it. But I feel like you guys know what I mean. So I'm just gonna keep reading before I get distracted. The distinction, no, I already read that. Preserving these nuisances is merely a matter of cushioning men from the harsh truth about their behavior. Though generally, be when you're trying to bring about social change, choose messaging that the people you want to reach can actually absorb. It also helps us figure out what is generally the best solution to the problem we're trying to solve. Yeah, I can solve your problem in like I can solve your problem like that. Um, if you want your problem solved, stop giving women power. That's it. Stop giving women power. Um, fire all these judges that instantly goes that instantly chooses the woman's side, um, no matter what the situation is, even if she started or created the situation, or even just made up the situation. She's just after that man just just to get a quick paycheck. Um, and yeah, bam! I just solved your solution in like less than 10 seconds, right there. Um, it is not entirely clear what the piece about the women's encounter with Anzares was intended to accomplish. Josh Josh Herman, the editor of Chef Tab Media, the parent company of Babe, which published the piece on Ansari that said the story was newsworthy because of the who he who because of who he is and what he said in his stand up. What he has written in this book was what he has written in his book proclaimed on the late night TV. That was all said in quotes. That's why I did that. Just letting you know. That is not the same thing as defining the nature as Nzari's offense according to the relevant law and prevailing morals in articulating what sanctions he should face, which he shouldn't face any because, well, really? Do I need to say it? Do I need to say it? Do I really need to say it? Truth be told, I wasn't going to say it anyway because I forgot. Okay. Unlike the allegations against Weinstein, it is difficult to see how this story would lead to police to open a case against Ansari. Yeah, because the guy really did nothing. They had sex, and she even enjoyed the sex. But now she's saying that he sexually harassed him or raped him. And that's just American women for you. Like, come on. Really? She enjoyed the sex. She wanted to have the sex. She thought the sex was great. And then the next day she turns around and says she was raped. No words. Because all I can really say is wow. Just wow. This is why men need to hashtag avoid all women. Hashtag I came up with, by the way. Um, Avoiding all women is like the safest thing to do. At least in countries where, in feminized countries where women have power. But let's get back into it. Unlike the allegations against Kevin Spacey, which involved the abuse of fame and professional standing, and which led Ridley Scott to replace him with Christopher Plummer in the film of all the money in the world. This account of sexual miscommunication doesn't offer a good reason for Netflix to fire Ansari from Master of None, and if excuse me, and if Ansari's offense is being a bad, sorry, I had to reread that, and if Ansari's offense is being a bad, inconsiderate sex partner, the graphic detail in the story seemed better left to a whisper network to disseminate. All right, last sentence. Changing culture is hard, even exhausting work. Um, well, I personally wouldn't know anything about changing a culture or a society or changing laws or rules or anything. I wouldn't know anything about I wouldn't know anything about or I wouldn't know anything about I wouldn't know anything more fourth time saying that. I don't know nothing about these things and I don't know how hard they are. But and I'm sure it's more complicated than it all sounds. But literally all you have to do is just take stop giving women so much power. That's literally the only solution. Take away these women power and then we can go back Well, I'm not saying we can go back to the good old days, but we can go back to things. We can go back to the days where things were balanced and equal. Yeah. Nowadays, uh, nothing is equal. Um, women, women and feminists bitch about equality, but okay, hey homies, sorry about that quick cut. My phone had died. Uh, I don't know what I was talking about when I was before the whole cut, so I'm just gonna finish the little bit of the article that there is left. And yeah, let's get it. Changing the culture is hard, even exhausting work. The current conditions make it harder still due to the things that are most necessary. Oh, yeah, that's what I was talking about. Um, Maybe just stripping women of their power alone would be enough to fix the society. Well, not fix it, but to make things a lot more better and make it to where men aren't just being thrown in prison for the dumbest reasons or for having a dick or for simply being a man. Um, and that would be the most useful. Yes, it would. More, more discussions of sex have often been limited to condemning people for what they like to sleep with or enjoy, or for enjoying sex at all. And any conversation about a woman's behavior or decision making can be weaponized to deny that men should ever be held accountable for anything. Yeah, when they think about it, when I think about it, yeah, it makes sense. Um, Sorry, I kind of lost my place. I do that a lot. I swear to God, I have ADD or ADHD or some shit. It's like when I try to read one word, it's like when I'm trying to read through the sentence or whatever, it's like I'm reading the entire sentence. So it's just like I lose my place really easily. Shout out to all my ADD people and my ADHD people. You guys know the struggle. Actually, I don't even know if I have ADD or ADHD. I just assume I do. But shout out to you guys anyway. You guys know what I'm talking about, though. um, Fuck. Any conversation can be weaponized to deny that men should ever be held accountable for anything. Yes, because it's hard to believe women these days because they just make up a bunch of shit just for a quick paycheck or for some intention because they're not getting some in their personal lives. So they got to go about doing it, fucking up somebody else's life. And this is exactly why hashtag avoid all women needs to blow up. It needs to blow up like worldwide, countrywide, nationwide, whatever, planetary, universal wide, universal wide. Uh, okay. Despite these, uh, Despite these profound challenges, it is also true that morality must pick up where the laws leave off, which is something women these days barely have. Close to their morality is pretty low, or they don't have any morals. Um, so, and that also same goes for these blue pills and these white knights and these simps and these cumps. Cumps? What the? Is that even a word? I meant to say cucks. I don't know how you mistake cumps for cucks. Oh shit. It is also true that no. See, I already read that. And true sexual revelation has also involved both men and women speaking clearly about what they need. What women need to do is tell other women to stop trying to ruin men's lives for their own pathetic reasons. And what men need to do is just avoid women. Go their own way, follow their passions, do what makes them happy, build their own business, and never hire a female unless it's a female you can absolutely trust or you've known for over a fucking decade or at least most of your life or half of your life. Um, those are the only females you can really trust. And even then, sometimes you can't even trust those. Just thought I'd put that out there. But yeah. And that's the end of the article. I'm trying to look at the comments and see if there's any good comments. And I hope there is. There's 400, so there's got to be at least one good comment. But you got me fucked up if I'm going through all 400 of them. This will be like a 2-hour video. You guys will be like, what the hell, Jesus? Are you out of your mind, man? I'm not watching this shit. Unlike, unsubscribed. Oh my goodness. Okay, so there's this comment that's got like 4 likes. Let's see what it's about. Year 70. It is not simple to just leave when you do not like what is going on. Really, I am over 70 years old. Feminists and the vision we had 5 decades ago was that women will learn to do just that. Say something or leave it. It is simple, and I have done it many times in my younger days. 60 years after the beginning of feminism, and a grown woman still blames. Hold on, did I overskip a sentence? Let me reread that. The struggle is real, guys. 60 years after the beginning of feminism, and a grown woman still blames and looks to humiliate a man for her inability to say no and leave. Wouldn't she be better off learning from this experience and taking at least half of the responsibility for the disappointment so the next time she will have more agency? I am separating this case from criminal and legal but bullying situations. Shout out to year 70. The guy left this comment 9 minutes ago. He has a point. Women need to accept partake in some of their own actions and take responsibility and accountability like us men have since the beginning of time. And now that women are saying that they're equal to men and they can do anything a man does, yet they don't, nor they haven't, nor they can. Yet the feminists want to talk about equality, but the systems like favor women. You know what I'm saying? They pamper them, they numb them down, they weaken them. Um, they make them more mentally and spiritually weak. Um, that's something the government has also done. Made women more weaker and demanding and entitled. They just think they're entitled to everything. Now, I'm not sure if I read the article or if I watched or if it was a video. I think it was a video. It was by the MGTOW philosopher. I think most likely. Um, there was a guy who there was a guy there's a guy who is being thrown in prison for not having sex with a woman. So if you're a man or a woman watching this, just let that sink in. Man goes to jail for not wanting to have sex with a woman. Like, you can't win. No man can win. We can't we can't fucking win. Okay, so if I go up to a woman and talk to her and say, "What's up? How's it going?" There's a chance that I could potentially go to jail. If a woman comes up to me and ask, like, talk, so are you saying if a woman comes up to me and ask, like, if I want to have sex or talk, or hell, just talk to me and have a conversation, are you saying if I completely ignore her that that I can be deemed a fucking rapist? I can go to jail for denying a woman sex, yet they deny men sex all the time like it's nothing? I'm getting a little emotional. I need to control my emotions because right now they're kind of getting the best of me. But like, literally though, there is no fucking winning. Like, you can't even be a MGTOW. Like, wow. Because um, uh, um, going up to a woman is talking to a woman is potentially sexual harassment. That just all depends on your looks and how much money you make, of course. Um, but also ignoring a woman or denying a woman sex, that's sexual harassment too. Just let that sink in, guys. Just let that sink in. Like, at this point, it's not even safe to go leave your own fucking house. It's not even safe to leave your own house these days. Apparently. Because when I first watched that video, I was in shock. I didn't, you know, of all ways men get thrown in prison, of all stupid ways, of all wrong ways, of all evil and narcissistic ways or revengeful ways men have been thrown in prison, I would never have thought men could be thrown in prison for denying a woman sex. And that just kind of makes me a little nervous. What's next? It's sexual harassment if you don't go outside, and it's considered sexual harassment if a man doesn't leave his house to go and fucking go out in the world and socialize with women. Is that sexual harassment too now? Or will it become sexual harassment as more men go their own way and say women are done? I mean, yeah, women are done and men are done with women. Is that what is it going to be is that going to be sexual harassment too? Is it gonna be sexual harassment when I go on when I just start ignoring women? Um, like fuck, I don't even know where I was going with that. Never mind. You guys get what I'm saying, though. It's really fucked up that what how much power women have, and they still complain about equality. That's the funny part. They still think that they still think that they're down here and that men are up here because of the so-called patriarchy, which does not exist. Not anymore, anyway. Maybe it did uh, back in the days where men weren't completely bitch boys. Maybe back then that's where uh, patri- a patriarchy existed. But I can't say for sure because I obviously wasn't born back then. So you homies who were born back then, who are older than 30, I guess, maybe 40, 50, uh, please drop a comment. Was there ever a patriarchy? Has there ever been a patriarchy? Because I would say otherwise, or I disagree that there's a patriarchy. Anyhow, I'm just scrolling for more comments because I made a, nope. I think it's important to try lots of things and have sex with lots of guys when you're young. It's not all one way or the other. You can go through periods of being more promiscuous and periods of being more conservative. I think your post is a little too rigid. Uh, that was a female that said that. It was a random comment that I just decided to read. By Claire. Of course, she would think it would be okay for a woman to have sex with a bunch of different guys, or go out and go have sex with a lot of guys. But what she probably doesn't know is when women have sex with a multitude of uh, men, it can change them when they get older. Uh, they can look more male. They'll look like they have like that more male look in their face. They'll have like the male features. Their voice might be deeper. Um, their personality will be fucked, especially if they suck dick. For you guys or girls, if you're watching this, if you're confused about why I say that, because um, sperm, sperm goes up into a woman's brain if she doesn't have sex protected, which most women don't really, especially not the young ones. They just wanna fucking get something stuck up inside them. The last thing they're thinking about is condoms. um, but fuck. I just got distracted by this comment, and it was literally saying basically the same thing as the other bitch. Why are women whatever? I'm just gonna end the video. I hope you brothers have enjoyed this. Well, since this video is a 19-minute video, and my previously recorded video that's supposed to be this video was like 20 something minutes. I hope you guys have enjoyed this like 30 or 40 something minute video. So, always remember, you're the man, you've got the penis. You can make anything happen. The world is in your hands. Don't let a woman tell you, yes, you, don't let a woman tell you that, that you can, that you're nothing. Don't let a woman break you down. Don't let a woman tell you what to do. Don't be a bitch boy. And I guess if you're a female watching this, then hey, um, if you're a female watching this, don't ever, don't ever let a feminist tell you you're equal. Don't when you're not. Don't let a feminist tell you you're strong and independent when you're not. I mean, I well, I there are some exceptions for some ladies out there, but you get what I'm saying, ladies. Anyhows, I hope you homies have enjoyed this video. Honestly, I I can see this video being taken down because some of the things I've said. So if it, I'm probably gonna post this. Most likely gonna post this video on my Patreon as well. So if you guys want to check me out on Patreon, feel free to. And yeah, this is your boy Black Jesus, or as my YouTube channel says, Black Oh Jesus. Have a blessed day.